talk more about that, I'm joined now by Amicie. She's the president of CathoVoice France. Thank you for being with us on France24 tonight. Now, in your opinion, does this case mark a turning point for the Catholic Church in France, in that those higher up must answer allegations of covering up abuse? Has there until now been a culture of secrecy, do you think?
I think there has never been any doubt in the church that sex abuses are among the gravest possible crimes. I think this trial, however, as you're saying, is a very important public event, because it's not just about what Cardinal Barbarin did or didn't do. It's about putting on trial a culture of silence which has existed in the Catholic Church. And it's a culture of silence that is deeply horrifying, and which hurts us Catholics, and which hurts society at large, and for very good reasons, because it's a culture which runs counter to the values of truth, of protecting the weak, which are the core of our faith in Christ and should be the foundations of the church. Now, I think what we are seeing today also is moving from a culture of silence to a culture of listening. And that's a shift which has occurred in the church at large, not just in the church in France, but which we are seeing now in very big proportions. And Cardinal Barbarin himself has been one of the actors of these changes, listening to the victims, trying to put their stories first before institutional interests.
Why do you think it has taken so long, though, for these high-ranking figures in the church to admit what they have done or what they haven't done to protect young people? I mean, we're talking about crimes that happened in the 1980s and 1990s, so for them to keep silent about this all of this time is pretty shocking in itself, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. I'm with you on that. And I think it's one thing to be hurt and angry at the revelations of sex abuse cases, and it's another thing of being hurt at the silence that was deliberately kept by members of the hierarchy of the church. Now, why that is, I think there are many different elements to answer this question, but maybe a way of seeing it in a general, and to give a general answer, is that these cases are incredibly complex. In part, the answer is that members of the church thought that they were doing it a good service by protecting these perpetrators. They thought they were protecting the institution by keeping silence, which is obviously very wrong. Also, we should also remember that these cases, as I was saying, are very complex, and so many layers are involved: religious, spiritual, institutional, judicial.
How is it different? If a child is abused by an adult, it's child abuse. Religion and spirituality shouldn't come into it. It's a crime. And if somebody covers it up, it's a crime.
Absolutely. It is a crime. Whatever it is a crime. Completely. What I'm saying is that for members of the church themselves to realize how important the crime was, or its consequences, has perhaps not always been so easy and transparent. And that in itself is a failing. And I suppose we now are much more aware of the possibility of these crimes happening, for one, and of the measures of prudence, the guidelines that have to be put in place to prevent these things happening. And I think there's a new awareness of that. And it's part of culture of listening and of protecting the weaker members of the church.
Amicie, thank you very much.
Thank you.